So you don't own a boat, you have a relationship with it. And my relationship with this boat spans the last 4 years. What I like about this boat is it's just a sculptural masterpiece. All of these fittings are just created with a passion, you know, the detail work, the selection of the mahogany and the finish of it. You just want to touch it. You can't just leave it alone. Casada was built in 1958 in Lake Como in Italy. I saw the boat about 12 years ago. 10 years later, I managed to track it down again, purchased the boat and brought it home, and 9 weeks later I had it finished and back in the water. From the day I was born I was running, and I've just had an addiction to speed ever since. Anything that's got an engine in it makes a lot of noise and goes fast, I want. My aim has been to collect an example of every boat that's raced since the turn of the century. I've tried to collect an example of each era. These are my Sleeping Beauties, and they're waiting their turn to be brought back to life. This boat here was built in 1927 to an American design. I still use it on a regular basis. And the other boat at the back there, that was built in 1920. It's called Miss Playtoy, and it was a race boat. It actually won a few races, and I've got some documentation on it and also the trophies that it won. The other boat there, called Crazy Baby, was originally called Miss Boron. It was built in 1961 by a pattern maker called Neville Payden. It did 111 miles an hour, which is pretty good for a 14-foot boat. This is a two-man scull that I'm restoring at the moment. It was built in the 50s or 60s. It's designed to glide through the water. It's just a beautiful piece, so fine, so elegant. You know, still capable of about 20 miles an hour, and that's not bad for two manpower. When I was doing all of my research, chasing up the history of boat racing, Aggressor really stood out as a star. And to think that a 20-year-old built that boat, took him 10 years and then won everything with it, is just an amazing experience. I had to save it. It was a mess. It wasn't loved. Well, I was screaming at the top of my lungs, going, yes, yes, yes! This thing's going to happen. It's going to work. I think you could have heard me screaming over the exhaust. The sensation I had of driving that boat for the first time, if you had any conception of how much pain I've gone through to get that boat to that point, it's just beyond belief. I can't even believe my wife's still with me after all of this. It's been 6 months full-time working on it. It was like sitting on a stick of gelignite. The boat's just incredible. I mean, you heard it, the noise, the fury, the speed, the water, the spray, everything about it was just an amazing experience. And
Dave, welcome to Collectors.
Hi, how are you?
I've been looking at your collection here on the table and your beautiful boats, and there are two things that characterise your collection. One, streamlined beauty, and two, speed. Which of those two is most important to you?
When you search for speed, invariably something becomes beautiful as well. I enjoy looking at the objects, and I especially enjoy driving my objects. And I can't explain to you the sensation that you get doing over 100 miles an hour on water.
Yeah, you're running on the edge. Now, tell me about the history of these boats.
Well, the situation at present is that we've really documented our sailing boat history really well, and this museum's a testament to that. The sad part is that our powerboat history has basically been forgotten, and literally it's almost gone. I find that I'm one of the few people, probably the only person, that's gone to a real lot of trouble to make sure that this history is preserved. I believe I'm a custodian of them, and although they do have a monetary value, it's not something that necessarily drives me. I mean, sure, they're a commodity and you could trade them, but I hope that when I'm finished with them, the next people that take over enjoy them as much as I do and look after them as well as I have.
Sure. You haven't actually restored much at all, have you? I mean, they've all look as though they are as you found them. Is that true?
Yeah, in terms of the toys, it's very important that you don't modify toys or models. And in terms of the full-size objects, I've seen a lot of people destroy things by over-restoring them. If the builder of the original item did something that was a little bit rough, leave that rough aspect to it because that's how it ran on the day.
Now, the one that catches my eye, I mean, is this one, because it's got an engine in it. I like
Yeah.
engines.
I found that at Roselle Markets. I bought it off the guy for $5.50.
$5.50? That's not bad.
$5.50, come on. $550.
And what's
$550?
Yeah.
Oh,
What's it
okay.
worth?
Don't
now?
tell my wife.
And what's it worth?
I reckon it's worth a couple of grand now.
A couple of grand. Good buying. Well done.
So that's good investment, Gordon.
Now, Adrian, you know I hate the 50s and all that schmicky stuff, but I think I could be converted.
I was going to ask you.
I think I could be.
1958 runabout.
Yeah, oh, that's beautiful.
Italian build.
Apparently I could buy it for maybe 50 or 60 grand.
No, I don't think so.
No, probably not. You would never sell it, would you?
No, it's the only one in Australia.
Is it?
There was only 12 ever built. It's a really unique boat, and I'm going to have it till I die.
Oh, that's brilliant. Look, thanks very much, Dave,
Thank
for
you
coming
very
along.
much.
It's absolutely
Yeah, I had a
fabulous.
ball.